got ourselves all aired down. We are making our way out to the Arizona Strip today, and gonna head out to an area that I've never been to before, which is called Kelly Point. I am very much hoping there's nobody out here. It is a Saturday, but it's pretty far out there. It's probably going to be about the furthest out into the Arizona Strip we've been, and we've been pretty far out to the Arizona Strip before. So it's about Onyx. I'm using Onyx navigation today. It's the first time I'm using Onyx navigation, and I'm taking the fastest route to get out there. And Onyx has us at about 5 hours, having just turned off of Route 7 in here in St. George and onto CR5. So it's going to take us a bit to get out that way. Basic plan is we're going to head out to Kelly Point. Hopefully there won't be anybody there and we'll be able to camp there. Camp there overnight, take in some wonderful views of the Grand Canyon, and then on our way out tomorrow, I want to hit a hike that's out this way called Mount Dellenbaugh? Dellenbaugh. Mount Dellenbaugh. Not a crazy long hike. I think it's only like 5.5 miles round trip, something like that. So, but it'll make a nice little, just decent few hour day hike on our way out of here in a very remote area. So I think that's the high level of what the plan is. Is the plan going to go as planned? I guess you'll have to stay tuned to find out. If you happen to watch our video from last week, we went out and hiked the grade. A few days beforehand, Avis started getting sick, and she wasn't feeling all that great. But then the morning we went out for a hike, she kind of bounced back and was feeling pretty good. Didn't really have too many troubles on that hike. A little bit, you know, she was still feeling it a little bit, but, you know, was definitely feeling pretty good. But later that evening when we got home, I think the hike just wiped her out and kind of pushed her over the edge, right? And she got super sick, you know, for a couple days, and then finally, about mid this week, she started on some antibiotics, and she still got a little bit of a cough going here and there, but she's definitely feeling a little bit more on the mend after the antibiotics. Always try to avoid those if we can. We're not big wanting to take drugs people, but sometimes when you got to do it, you got to do it. And so hopefully she's gonna heal up out here. I'm hoping there's gonna be some special sauce out here in the Arizona Strip that's gonna get her back to 100% versus the probably 75% she's at right now. So what do you think, Avis?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
On the fence.
I don't even know if she cares.
I'm just tired of feeling bad.
Yeah, she's definitely over feeling bad. Sleep was good last night though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got a good night's
Our watch
sleep.
rated me at an 83.
Your watch, you got better sleep than I got. My watch said I slept at like a 75 or something. So you did good if you got an 83 being sick. So anyway, I don't think I mentioned it in my little intro there, but the Onyx has this route about 100 miles one way. Now a lot of that is sort of this graded road that we're driving on, but the last 30 miles or so, per my understanding, I don't know, I haven't been out to this Kelly Point yet, but when we make the turn in earnest onto Kelly Point, it's rated a blue on Onyx, and I don't know that all of it's a blue, but I know at least the last half of it, from the descriptions I saw, have it, you know, it's a pretty rocky trail is how it's described it. So I think our speeds are probably going to greatly slow at that point. But on the upside, maybe that keeps more people out of there. We'll have a better chance of snagging this camp on the weekend, because I know the people that know about it are. It's a great camp from what I hear. I'm very excited to see it. The road we're currently driving on right now is called Hobble Canyon, and this is an area that I came out to several years ago with Brett from our Overland Life and mapped with him. He does a lot of mapping for Onyx, or used to. I don't know if he's doing so much these days, but he used to do quite a bit, and he mapped quite a bit of the area we're in now. And I came out on a trip for a weekend, and he and I ran around out here and did some mapping, and this is one of the roads we mapped. So I'm already quite familiar with this road. Pretty area. Since we got out here, we've been rolling now maybe an hour, and have not seen another soul, and that is very typical of this area. We have been out here many times, and we will occasionally see someone, but it's rare. I've been out here before, you know, for a few days at times, and never seen another person, which is one of the things that I really love about this area. If you're looking for some solitude, this is the place to come. Of course, with that comes with some danger. You know, it's a very bad place to have a breakdown, right? Because if you have no way to communicate out here, you're going to be in some serious trouble. If you know, you just are waiting around for someone to come and rescue you, and you could have a long ass walk out of here, especially in the summer. So if you do come out here, I would definitely bring a communication device of some sort. I always have my Garmin with me for sure, and then on the camper in particular, we're running the Starlink. So we've got good connectivity. We've got a way to make phone calls. I've got, you know, a way to get help if we actually needed it. But hopefully we won't. Hopefully we won't need any of that stuff. And the only thing we need the internet for is, you know, Instagram or something, in case there's some kind of Instagram emergency. You never know. Even though you don't see a lot of people out here on the Arizona Strip, one thing you will see quite a bit of is cattle. There are a lot of cattle grazing lands out this way, and I don't know where all the people are that tend to them, because, like I said, you very rarely see them, but you do see a bunch of cattle out here. There's some little baby cows over here right now. So we just turned onto a new road, and actually this is a road out here that I have never been on before, and I'm not unexcited about that. I don't know if it will be all new roads to us from this point forward. I didn't really scrutinize the route that Onyx was taking us on. I just kind of started up the navigation from Onyx, and I'm following it blindly. That may not be a good idea. I'm assuming it's taking us the fastest way, and but maybe it's not. I don't know. But either way, some new roads to enjoy that we've never seen. The road conditions so far have been easy. They're actually quite well kept roads out here. There's a few little rocky spots here and there. If it rains out here, you can sometimes get washouts and things that appear across the road that didn't used to be there. I have run into that out here before, but it's pretty rare. They generally do a pretty good job of getting out here and fixing those things when they happen. I know that's going to change when we get out to this Kelly Point, and I know just from the reports that the road's going to get a heck of a lot rougher and rockier, but for everything we're in right now, I haven't been out of two-wheel drive since we jumped out here, and that's pretty typical of this area. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time in four-wheel drive until you get out to some of the rougher tracks. And they are out here. There are ones that we have been to. Just this Kelly Point is going to be a new one for us. Well, we just came across some other vehicles out here. We saw some cattle equipment, but no people. I don't know where the people are. It's so weird out here. Their equipment is here, their trucks are here. Don't know where the people are. Maybe they're out doing a cattle drive somewhere on their ATVs or something. Who knows? Or you think it's all horseback? You have to do horseback, right?
I think I saw horse trailers.
You saw horse trailers? All right. Horse trailers. You gotta do, I mean, if you're gonna be out here cowboying, you gotta do it the right way, right? You gotta do it on horses.
Exactly.
Easy for me to say. I don't ride horses.
Okay,
I would definitely be on an ATV.
So, this is our first time down this little road through this canyon, and it's super cool in here. Got some rocky edges, some little tight in places, but just definitely showing off the beauty of the area. Let's see. Ooh. All kinds of cool birds in here too that I can't quite identify.
Oh, look at this up here. Cliffside up here.
Yeah, it's like super cool down in here. Off the cliffs. I think driving through canyons is one of my most favorite activities of this region we moved to. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I like them. I mean, I like it all. What is there not to like? You got yeah, I mean, the canyons are cool, the high spots are cool. I don't know. I have not yet grown tired of this in the 4 years we've been living out here now.
No, certainly not. But I think canyons are high on my list. It's one of my favorites. And this one is super cool. A nice treat.
The road we're currently driving on is rated a 4 on Onyx and is labeled as a blue. It is definitely degraded a little bit. Still in two-wheel drive, but we are starting to go up some grades here and there. And whether I need four-wheel drive or not, I often will kind of put it in 4 low in this stuff because this camper is so heavy, and it's easier on the transmission and kind of all the internals. Wow, this is a pretty rocky section here, isn't it? Look at that. All right, yep, it's time to go to 4 low. That was a good example of one of those washout spots I was talking about earlier that you will occasionally run across out here. That one apparently has not yet been repaired, and thankfully it wasn't wasn't so bad. We were easily able to navigate through it. I could see one of the that black tube that you saw there is a water line, and they have water lines run all throughout here for the cattle ranchers. And obviously that one used to be buried under the road, and I guess when it got washed out, it's now exposed. So definitely don't wanted to be careful not to run over their water line while navigating through there. But thankfully that was easy enough. And ooh, this is looking a little sketch in the camper. This is pretty off camber. All right, let me get out and take a peek at this. I know on the camera this is not going to look very bad at all. I mean, it hardly looks like anything. And if I was in the Jeep or something like that, I wouldn't even give this a second thought. But that camper is so top heavy, I really have to kind of consider this sort of stuff. And what's the best line to take? What's really concerning me the most is kind of right here. I think I can maybe come up high, but then that's going to put me kind of pointing downhill here, and I think I'm going to get pretty off camber there. And this down here, you can see, is not firm. I mean, the danger factor here, not that bad. I mean, even if the camper rolled over, you know, it's like nobody's going to die. But I don't want to do that, obviously. That's going to be a huge expense. So just trying to think what's the cleanest way through here, and hopefully won't run into any more of these. This one's visually it doesn't, the other one looked sketchier, but this one I can tell you, just because it's off camber, is a lot sketchier. So yeah, I think I'm gonna come up high, just try to creep it right down this. Maybe I could come this way. I could come straight down this and across, but if I fall in this ditch right here, that's gonna be pretty ugly. And yeah, it's pretty off camber there too. So yeah, let me think about how to best navigate this here. I think I'm gonna do exactly what I said. Come up high and just come right here. From here, it doesn't look bad at all to me. But when I'm standing over there, I can tell it's pretty off camber. What do you think that is? 20 degrees? 20, 25? Yeah. And I can tell you in the camper, 20 degrees feels very, very uncomfortable. Versus a Jeep or something, I wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd probably roll through here at like 30 miles an hour. What's that?
The soft edge is concerning.
The soft edge, yeah, as heavy as we are. All right, let's go see if we can figure this thing out. That was a rare occasion. It doesn't happen very often where I can, from the driver's seat, it didn't feel nearly as bad as I thought it was going to feel based on how it looked from the outside. Avis was behind the camera and I was coming across. She said it looked pretty tippy. We had a lot of weight, and visually before I even drove it, I knew that's what it was probably gonna not feel good, but it didn't really feel bad from the cab at all. That went about as smooth as it could have gone from the driver's seat for me. I wasn't sure if it felt like a little bit of like sliding, just a touch there when it got kind of tippy, but I don't know if that was my imagination.
I didn't perceive it myself.
You did not perceive any sliding. All right, yeah, it must have been my imagination. I think I was maybe just a little worked up about as soft as that was and it giving out under me.
It could have been just settling into the tires. They were very bulgy.
Yeah. I've got them aired down pretty low-ish. I'm running about, usually in this sort of stuff, I'm running about 25 PSI, which sounds like a lot, but when you're as heavy as this camper is, I mean, this camper is about 6 tons. So 25 PSI puts a lot of bulge in those tires. I do occasionally run them lower if I get into some really like rocky stuff, or it's sand or something. I've been known to take them down to close to like 19 PSI, but man, you get a wide footprint on this thing at those pressures. along here and we just came up on this old homestead or something. Not really sure what it is. No idea how old it is. I don't know anything about it other than it's got a fireplace back here.
Oh,
So,
I read in the Onyx description that it's not confirmed, but this is believed to be a Butch Cassidy hideout. Yes.
You saw that on Onyx?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we do know something about it.
Well,
A Butch Cassidy hideout, potentially.
yep. Unconfirmed. Butch Cassidy hideout.
Unconfirmed Butch Cassidy hideout. I don't know how, I mean, how would they confirm it? I don't have any idea. So, back here over my shoulder, I don't know if you can see it, but we have some snow up on those cliffs back there. So it's definitely been, you know, not that warm up here. Still enough to have some snow laying around in the shadows. Avis, did you get your Instagram photo?
I did. In the fireplace.
In the fireplace? You took a photo of yourself in the fireplace?
Well, kind of in the fireplace, yep.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm a little sketched out to be too far in it.
Okay. If you want me to get in there, I'll be glad to take one for you.
All right, fine.
Yeah? All right. Let's take a picture of Avis in the fireplace.
Hopefully it doesn't crack down and crush me. There's rocks all down in it. I'm afraid there's a critter.
All right, there you go.
Okay, quick, hurry up. I'm afraid. I'm afraid all of a sudden.
Avis tucked up in Butch Cassidy's old fireplace, apparently.
There you go.
These cliff faces are just getting cooler and cooler the more I look at them. And they're very like geometric in a way. See like the geometric lines? Like it's just amazing to me how that stuff happens, right? It's like you can tell there's a lot of math involved in nature in some ways. You get these geometric shapes that just naturally occur in the rocks and the canyons, and it's super cool. So the landscape has dramatically changed again. We got out of that canyon, and these are junipers, we think?
Mostly junipers.
Mostly junipers? Yeah, we just have like all kinds of junipers, and there's little spots of snow a little closer to the road here and there. Roads been pretty similar. It's kind of goes between being pretty good, well-graded road to these little rocky sections like I'm going through right now. And so that's all kind of been the same, but the landscape dramatically different than just a few miles ago from that canyon we were in. Very, very different. We turned off the blue route we were on, the trail rated 4 according to Onyx, and we're back on one of the main routes out here, which is making me awfully suspicious that Onyx did not bring us the most direct route. Not really mad about it though, because I'd never seen that canyon we were in before, and I'm really glad we got to see that. So if nothing else, it was probably worth a little side quest just for that, even if it wasn't the most direct route. Still have yet to see any people. One of the things I should probably mention, you know, just in terms of being responsible, is if you do come out here, make sure you bring adequate fuel. You know, this little trip that we're making right now is going to be about 200 miles round trip. And, you know, when you're in some slow going stuff, there's some rigs out there that can't go 200 miles. I know, like, if I was out here in a little crawler, I'd be quite challenged to go 200 miles in that thing. And that does not allow you any wiggle room for mistakes. You know, as you can see, sometimes you get out here and you may Okay, I'm about to get super muddy here. There's a big old puddle, and this stuff just gets gross. You know what? It wasn't as bad as we thought it was gonna be.
No, it wasn't. I'm so sad.
Anyways, what was I saying? So, you know, just be aware if you're out here, especially in the summer. I mean, the winter can be bad too, but it gets freaking, you know, triple-digit heat out here in the summer, and you don't want to be caught in a situation where you're running out of fuel and you don't, you know, you have no means of communication. I talked about that earlier, very important. But you know, and you want extra fuel because you know, your planned route could be 200 miles and you could come across some obstacle or some washout in the road or something that causes you to have to backtrack and, you know, put extra miles you weren't planning on. So one of the things I really love about this rig in particular is with this ox tank in it, we have 58 gallons of fuel. So I'm pretty well set, even in worst case scenario, kind of worst driving situations imaginable in terms of fuel mileage. I'm still got 500 miles. So, you know, it's gonna be rare that we're gonna do more than 500 miles off road without an opportunity to refuel. So that gives me a lot of comfort in this thing. Although one thing that I do in here out of practice is I always move fuel from the aux tank to the main tank about every eighth of a tank. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to wait until I'm down to, you know, a quarter tank or an eighth of a tank, you know, or something very low. So, you know, what if my fuel pump fails that moves the transfer pump, right? I mean, I may have some ways to do it. I could probably manually siphon. I could do a bunch of nasty stuff, assuming that works. You know, that's in theory. I've never done that in practice. But I try to move fuel often, is what I'm saying. So every time I've used an eighth of a tank, I'll hit that button. I'll throw another 5 gallons in from the aux tank, or, you know, roughly 5 gallons, somewhere in there, and just keep my fuel tank topped off as long as I can. And then it just potentially, you know, heads off some disaster because of a mechanical failure. You hear people say not to come out here in the rain, and I've been smart enough to do it or not do it because the roads, they say they become impassable, and I absolutely believe it. With that mud is just so slick, and just with these little bit, here comes another big puddle right here. This one looks worse than the one we just went through. All right, let's oh yeah.
Wow.
That one was pretty deep.
And muddy.
And muddy. Man, the truck is just covered. But anyways, yeah, if it was like raining in earnest out here, I mean, these puddles and wet spots are one thing, but if this entire road looked like that, I 100% could believe you get stuck out here. I don't care what you're driving. You can get buried, especially in something heavy like we're driving. So even the easy flat roads in the right condition can add some adventure. Here comes another one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a huge cleanup job after this.
I think it's funny because I only clean the inside.
Yeah, Avis is responsible inside, or Avis is responsible inside and responsible outside. So hurting me a lot more than it's hurting her. So we're about back of the napkin. 7-8 miles from the start of the Kelly Point trail, so we're getting closer. We're getting there. We have made the official turn onto the Kelly Point Trail, I think is what it's called. And we've got just about 30 miles to go out to where we intend to camp. And again, crossing our fingers, hoping nobody's there. The road we're on at the moment is not really technical, but it's definitely a little damp through here. And so we're gonna try to stay on the high parts if we can, and it's just damp. It's not like crazy muddy or anything, which is good because I wouldn't want to be tearing the road up. Although it looks like there's been a few people through here before me that have definitely torn it up a bit. So the Mount Dellenbaugh, I think I'm saying that right, trailhead is coming up here, and that's the trail we intend to hike tomorrow. But we're gonna go ahead and stop up here, I think, and do some lunch when we get there because we're getting quite hungry. And I realized on my meal plan I've been eating Cheerios as part of my meal plan, and I forgot my Cheerios. So now I have to I don't think we have many carbs at all, so I don't know. I'll have to make some substitutions in some way. I don't know if I'll be able to get all the carbs that I've been intending to eat, but we'll work it out one way or the other.
I have fruit.
Yeah, fruit. All right. I don't really eat that much fruit, although I do like oranges.
I brought some oranges.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's get up here, find this trailhead, make some lunch, and then we'll continue on down this Kelly Point Trail.
That's about what I expected to see.
Is it tossed?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah. So this tends to happen with the camper quite a bit. You get into some rough stuff and it's tossing the cushions and so forth. And man, look at that mess at the door there. So this is gonna be fun to clean up.
It's gonna be a dirty weekend.
So we made it out. We didn't actually end up driving all the way to the trailhead. I didn't realize the road we're taking, this Kelly Point Road. We had to take a right and go down like another half mile to get to the official trailhead that we'll go to tomorrow. But I saw no point to do that right now. So we just stopped right here where the road turns. Gonna get some sort of lunch together and get ourselves rolling again. Man, the truck is a mess. All right, lunch has been had. You know, wasn't really the lunch I was hoping for, but it's gonna work. It's gonna keep me alive, and time to keep rolling. About 27 miles to go, according to Onyx. Looks like it's all secured up. Maybe they don't want people in there messing around, which I can understand. People suck sometimes and do bad stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that door is... I don't think this door is made to open. It's not, and it makes sense why they have all this wire mesh here on the screens. You can see this thing, I guess, has been falling apart. There's some newer supports they put in to keep it upright, but somebody used to live way the heck out here. I wonder if they were friends with Butch Cassidy. It's kind of an ominous sign there, the hantavirus, which I guess is basically saying what? Don't put rat poop in your mouth. Oh, you can be, even if it's blowing around, it can be a problem. All right. I mean, I definitely won't be putting it in my mouth, so no worries there. But yeah, I guess blowing you can't do anything about. So here's some kind of little shed or something, I guess. A barn. Is it a barn? Yeah, there's a bunch of alcohol type bottles in there. Maybe people leave those as they come out here. All right. Well, according to Onyx, Avis is reading the description again.
Oh, National Park Service.
What was that? Oh, National Park, you were reading that.
Yeah.
Okay, she was reading on the National Park, not Onyx. Sorry, I made a mistake. But they said the road starts to get significantly rougher at this Waring Ranch. So we just came across this when we were pulling into the ranch, which is, they said there's something about like 100 yards of razor tooth rocks or something. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Is that the 100 yards of razor tooth rocks? Razor tooth rocks coming in? Dragon's tooth. Dragon's teeth?
Dragon's teeth.
Okay, dragon's teeth rocks. Yeah, so I don't know if that's what's supposed to be it or not. I mean, the road, honestly, it still just looks pretty, you know, just dirt and tame heading that way. I know it's going to get worse. I know from seeing the other descriptions, it's going to get worse, and especially with about 15 miles to go from what I understand. But right now, it's, you know, just dirt for the most part, and whatever that crazy rock thing is. So temperature wise, the truck is telling me it's 42 degrees right now, which is not that warm, and I'm not going to be super surprised if we get down into the 30s tonight, and we'll be making use of that heat. Thankfully the heat's working. There's some stuff going on in the camper right now. The sink, the water faucet's having some issues. We don't have hot water at all.
I forgot we didn't have hot water.
You forgot we didn't have hot water? Yeah.
I knew the sink was broken, but I forgot we didn't have hot water.
We don't have any hot water.
Oh, no.
Not that it won't make hot water. The hot water heater runs, it heats water, all that stuff, but we can't get it to come out of the faucet. So I don't know, and the faucet is definitely having some weird issues anyways. Like when you turn it on full blast, the nozzle shoots off. It's a mess right now. So that's got to be fixed. But we do have heat. I'm supposed to, here in the next month or two, we've got some other kind of personal stuff going on with some family stuff, not in a bad way, all good stuff, but I'm not really sure yet if how all that's going to play out, if I'm able to make my appointment. But I'm supposed to go up to CKP in a month or so, maybe a month and a half, and get some. We're gonna address some stuff. We're gonna work on the sink and the hot water and figure out what's happening with that, and then we're going to change out the Starlink. I'm going to move over to a Starlink Mini, which should use a lot less power than the Gen 2 I have right now, and the speeds are a lot better. And we're also going to look at some wiring stuff. Not in the camper. I think everything in the camper is solid since the last time KP touched it. But, you know, some stuff he hasn't worked on and corrected is other people's bad wiring. I think the lights that I have on this, like my LP9s up front, they're working great. But my light bar gets flaky sometimes. Sometimes it works really well, and sometimes it flakes out. And I have a suspicion they didn't use the right gauge wiring when they wired that up. So I might get KP to look at that too. But that's a ways away. For now, we're making our way to the edge of the Grand Canyon. So let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling down this road, this Kelly Point Road. So Avis is reading on the National Park website about this road, and they said they only recommend Jeeps, Broncos, side-by-sides, and like basically capable four-wheel drive vehicles with a short wheelbase. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
or UTVs.
Or UTVs, yeah. So I said side-by-sides, I think.
Oh, you did, sorry.
So, yeah, it's, yeah, but short wheelbase, check. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I will be fine. I mean, if it doesn't, I mean, this is certainly getting rocky for sure. as long as it doesn't get any more crazy than this. I mean, this thing, eat this stuff up all day long. I just got to take my time. It did say, just expect this stretch, like once you get past the homestead that we visited back there, they said expect it to take 3 to 4 hours in one direction out to Kelly Point. More like 2.5 to 3 hours if you're in a side-by-side. So what does that mean for a 6-ton camper?
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. I was afraid we were going to get to camp too early, but if it genuinely takes 3 or 4 hours for us to get out there, I won't have much concern about that. We'll be getting there at a decent time. It is definitely starting to get a little narrow through here. I've been rubbing the camper on quite a few bushes or trees. These aren't really bushes, they're trees, but we are tall. We're about 9.5 feet tall when we're closed up. And I took the awning off not too long ago, and this was a big reason why, because it would just get hung on branches and stuff, and it's just more of a hassle than it's worth having on there in these tight spots. I hope that the section we're going through right now is just, you know, an anomaly.
The exception.
An exception. If it continues to get as tight as it is, it's going to make this even slower going. Because even these sections, I could be driving a little faster because it's not as rocky right where we are here, but it's tight, and I need to make sure I don't catch the camper on anything big. Wasn't recording when it happened, isn't that always the case? But we were squeezing through a tight section of trail there, and there's a tree that had fallen down, and I thought for sure I could squeeze right by it without any issue, and I apparently had a misjudgment because it got into my door pretty good. It doesn't look dented. I don't think the door is dented, but from what I can tell, it looks like it scratched the paint in a pretty big way down to the bare metal. So that'll be something to deal with here at some point. Not too overly concerned about it. I mean, this is an adventure work truck. I mean, that stuff is going to happen to it. But I do try to minimize it as much as possible. I like to keep it in as good a condition as I can. And so I may end up getting that repaired once I get it washed off and get a better idea of how bad it is. But through the dirt, it looks pretty bad scratch. Probably the
sounded bad.
Worst. Yeah, it sounded pretty bad for sure. And then back there on the back of the camper, one of our camper lights, I think we caught something in one of these tight sections here that I didn't realize, and that got the screws got pulled out, kind of, sort of. So there's some kind of damage there. So we got some damage we're taking here a little bit. I don't like that so much. I hope it's worth it. And man, the road.
What, 10 miles in?
Yeah, we still have 21 miles to go, and this is pretty much the pace we're going right now. I'm going 3 miles an hour, and it has definitely gotten rocky. So the warnings about this road, I think, are 100% justified. Don't come out here in a RAV4. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but I think you might be sorry you did.
Fun and adventurous?
Yeah,
Yes.
It'll be a big fun and adventure. Avis saw that on the national park page, they said most of this rock that we're driving over is volcanic rock. So I don't really know what that means. I mean, I know what volcanic rock means, obviously, but you know, beyond that, as I've said many times, I'm not a geologist. It's not something I know a lot about. But apparently, yeah, there you go. Driving over a bunch of volcanic rocks. It's weird because I would, you know, to me, when you say volcanic rock, I think of like lava rock, right? And it's sharp and coarse, and these rocks aren't really that. These are smoother rocks, but you know, I don't know. Is that basalt? Is basalt a lava rock?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe this is basalt, because I know basalt is a little bit more like, looks like, you know, traditional rock, but it is, I think lava based. Again, not a geologist. It's holy. Basalt is?
Well, I don't know. These rocks, they have little tiny holes on them.
These rocks, okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is old lava rock, and it just looks different than lava rock I've seen before. I don't really know, but according to the national park, that's what we're driving over. A bunch of lava rock. Volcanic rock. So, Avis looked out her mirror and noticed my light up here is getting ripped off again. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know if the screws are gonna tighten or not. I think we may have pulled that bottom screw out. I'm not really sure. I don't even know what size that thing is, so that's gonna be fun trying to figure that out. But I'm gonna try to tighten it at first. We'll see. What size do you think that thing is? Let's experiment here.
Small.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
That's my professional opinion.
Yeah, okay, well, it's smaller than that.
What's that?
It's a 5/16.
Oof.
So, let's see. Give me something. It's gotta be metric, right? Let's look at something metric here. I don't have any. I mean, I could tape it. Don't really want to do that. The problem is I don't want to take the wiring out, right?
Yeah.
These lights are stupid. Four-wheel camper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Use your brains, guys. We shouldn't have lights like this that are easy to get caught. We need more stuff like this bug light over here that's flat and flush, and you can't, you know, you're not going to get branches and stuff caught in there and caught on it. So, just a dumb design by them. I shouldn't have paid for these lights. I should have just done something better, and that's probably what I'm going to end up having to do. Well, unfortunately, the tape that I carry in here is not in here. So I don't know why that is. I don't know where it went. I don't remember taking it out and not putting it back. So I don't really have any good way to repair that light. So I know screws are, that top screw might hold. It's pretty worn. That bottom screw is just pretty much falling out. And so I don't expect it's gonna do a very good job of holding anything there. So I think my plan is I'm just gonna try to hug the driver's side as much as I can on some of these tight spots and hope I don't catch that light. But yeah, so I'll add that to the list. We're gonna get that taken care of, and maybe I'll just put some different lights entirely on there. Something that's gonna be flatter and take the sort of tree branch abuse that I tend to put on those things. All right, this is pretty rocky right here. There's sections through here that, you know, I get excited because we get up to like 10 or 15 miles an hour, and I'm like, all right, you know, maybe it's gonna get a little better. And then we run into another rock garden, so it's right back down to 2 or 3 miles an hour. We're not really keeping track of the time, but you know, we now have 19.9 miles to go, and I think it was like a while ago I was saying it was 21. Yeah. So it is definitely like, I can almost believe
we were scheduled to get there at 2:30. Now we're scheduled to get there at 3:42.
3:42, yeah.
And it's continuously adjusting.
On the Onyx, so on the Onyx, yeah, and the Onyx navigation we're using here, it's bumping our time up and up and up and up. When we left earlier, I think it said we were supposed to get there at like 150. So obviously Onyx doesn't, this is not going to be good on the light. Onyx obviously doesn't do a good job in kind of estimating the travel time based on the severity of the trail. And I imagine that's a pretty hard thing to do programmatically, right? Because how do you know, and what kind of, times do you, average speeds do you attach to what rating trail? Like this trail rating wise, I don't know what Onyx even rates is, like a 4 or 5 or something. Like it's not that bad. I mean, there's nothing like crazy here, right? It's just rocks. It's just a lot of rocks that slow you down, and some of them are a little bigger rocks, right? Watermelon plus size, like they say, maybe even a little bigger than that. But I can just imagine, like from a, you're trying to kind of program and all that stuff. How do you take that into account when you're calculating time? So maybe I should give them a little grace on that. But yeah, time is average. Time to arrival is wildly wrong from when you start when you finish.
It is rated a 4.
It's rated a 4. Okay, so this is
Onyx says it takes 3 hours.
Onyx says it takes 3 hours, right? So what's that like on what? And did the trail guide say that? Like, where does that number come from? So the trail guide comes out. Who did this trail? Does it say?
It does. David Dunn.
David Dunn. Okay, I don't know David, so I'm not really sure what to expect out of how he rates stuff. But I mean, did he come through here on a side by side, or I don't know what he came through here on, or maybe he didn't say the time at all. Maybe Onyx just calculates that or something. All right, that's not going to be another good one on the light. Man, by the end of this trip, that light just made me dangling. I don't know what to do, right? Like I could cut it, I could cut the cord, and just remove it. I don't really want to do that, but maybe that's what I'm gonna have to end up doing. I sure wish I had freaking tape. If I had electrical tape, then I could at least tape it off. Erg.
It wasn't in the toolkit.
No, I didn't see it, but you know what? I didn't look through the toolkit a bunch. Maybe it is. Maybe you're right, Avis. Maybe the electrical tape. Maybe that's what I have as electrical tape. Maybe it's in the toolkit.
I know that's where it is in the Tacoma.
Yeah. All right. I'll look in the toolkit and see if I have some in there. If I do, I may try to take drastic measures on that light and either tape it up there, or maybe I'll just cut it and we'll tape it up until I can do something about it.
To answer your question, David Dunn rode the trail in a high clearance 4x4.
David Dunn did it in a high clearance 4x4. Okay. Well, somehow we came up with 3 hours. Maybe that's true in a Jeep. I don't know if it's going to be true in the camper. It's not going to be true in the camper.
It's not going to be true in the camper.
It's done. It's done.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to. We did find the electrical tape. It is in the toolkit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut the cord off, and tape it up, and that'll be far better until we can do something else. So let me find my snippers. Where's my snippers? That should do it. Almost. There we go. There we go. This screw out of here. Okay, there we go. Good enough.
Problem solved.
So we just came across some people for the first time since we've been out here today. Out of all the places, this is kind of the most remote and probably slow going. And had a Jeep come up behind us through here, and just a regular old Jeep Rubicon out there in front of us. So stopped and talked to him for a minute. I did not ask them if they're camping out here. It's not, if they are, they're tent camping because it doesn't have a rooftop tent or anything like that on it. And, yeah, so there you go. I was not sure we would see any people whatsoever. I was least expecting to see people out here. But hopefully my worst fears are not realized and that there's going to be other people camping out here because I was really looking forward to kind of having this secluded to ourselves. Man, this is, it's so tight in some spots here. And yeah, we're about over it. But hey, only 17.8 miles to go. More of this. We should be there by tomorrow at this rate.
Oh good, maybe those people will have left by then.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, Avis and I were trying to do some back of the napkin math. And I mean, I'll know for sure when we look at the footage to edit it. But I believe it has taken us about 2 hours to go 10 miles since the, what was that? The Waring Ranch. And it's not really been the rocks that have been the problem. It's the tightness of the camper. If we were in the Ursa Minor or just, you know, one of the other rigs, the Taco even, whatever, it would have been a lot easier time-wise. So like, you know, that Jeep that caught up to us, he was flying ahead of us because he doesn't have the size constraints, and it's not the terrain, it's the trees, and trying to pick our way through here without tearing stuff up, even more stuff. Obviously we already tore the light up. So I don't know. You know, bring the camper out here. 1 out of 10, I don't think I'd recommend.
No. Will we do it again? No.
Yeah, probably won't do it again, not with the camper.
We'll be happy to survive it.
So we got about 15 miles to go, and it's a giant boulder field.
Oh.
Like a pretty substantial boulder field. All right, let me get out and take a look at this. So it looks like now that I'm out of the truck, there's 2 ways to go. This way, I think, probably looks like the less severe way to go. Look, there's somebody's got their diff there. So I think I can navigate down this, no problem. What's going on up here? Let me just take a peek up the road. I should say, I know I can navigate that. I've done way worse things than that in the camper. It was looking a little more intimidating from the driver's seat, but I think we'll be fine. These trees, man. Just getting so tight. And still, you know, almost 15 miles to go. Yeah, we can make this. All right, well, I guess it looks doable for at least as far as I'm willing to walk. We're down to about 14 miles to go, and I've gotten to this spot right here behind me. It's just, we keep running into this, like, just it's, you know, I don't want to. So I got choices, right? I either got to come through here and trim all this up, or just barrel through it and pray I don't rip anything off the camper, especially the roof of the camper. You know, I've already got actually, I'm trying to figure out what I see on top of the camper right now. you know, like I got solar panels on the roof. I've got my Starlink up there. I've got fans, you know, I don't want to poke holes and stuff. And it's getting daunting, a little too daunting. And I'm really bummed because I've been wanting to come out and do this. I've been talking about coming out here for like a year and a half, and thought maybe this was going to be the time we do it. But I need to come. We will come back. I need to come back in a different vehicle. So I think this is as far as we go in the camper. I'm gonna back up. I saw a spot back there I think I can get turned around in, and I guess we're gonna head back out and go find somewhere else to camp. I wish I could say we're gonna find some camp with epic views. I don't believe that's gonna be the case tonight. I think we're just gonna make camp and head out for that hike we want to do tomorrow. So let's get this thing turned around. I guess I've done enough damage to it just getting it to this point. The big scratch in the door, the light, I don't know, and I don't even know what's going on the roof. Hopefully nothing bad. So, you know, at some point you just got to throw in the towel and say, this is not a camper friendly trail. And that's where we're at. So let's get this thing turned around.
Guessing the goal is to put the booty in there, but I'm not really sure. I didn't get the plan. Yep. Can you see the sign? Yes. There we go.
I'm out and about around town in this thing or on a trip or something, getting fuel, whatever it is, people often will come up to me and, you know, they say something like, man, I bet you can take that thing anywhere. That's awesome. And I usually respond with something like, I can take it anywhere it will fit. And that is its biggest drawback, is its size. I mean, it's a pretty capable rig. You know, even for only being on 37s, but with a short wheelbase, it's pretty capable. But it's just so tall, and you know, this is the sort of stuff that, like, I could not own this rig on the East Coast. It wouldn't be worth it. It's great out here out west. Most of the trips we do, it's fine. I can't really think of any other time I've turned back. But I think this is just, it's getting to be too much. We either, yeah, I mean, I already said everything I wanted to say about it, I guess. I'm still lamenting about it. I hate having to turn around. Like, it's so agitating. I was so excited about going out there. But maybe the hike will make up for it. Maybe we'll find a campsite that we at least don't hate, even though it probably won't have epic views. Not epic canyon views anyways, it won't have. But maybe it'll have some other, you know, thing we will appreciate about it. I don't know. We'll have to find out when we get there. finally reached back to the Waring Ranch with the rats, and man, that feels good. What an adventure! Just getting out to where we did to turn around. I have like a whole brand new conversation now I'm gonna have with overlanders. It's gonna go something like this. I'm gonna be like, what do you think is the most iconic overland route in the U.S.? And they're probably gonna say, I don't know, probably the Mojave Road. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I used to think that too. And then I discovered this 30-mile road out in the Arizona Strip that, it's a challenge even to complete it. But you'll be rewarded with awesome views at the end if you get there.
Well, you can only assume that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
If you let me finish. I was gonna say, then they would be like, so you've done it? And I'd be like, no. I tried and failed. So, yeah. Anyways, glad to be back. So now we need to be thinking about camp in earnest. And it's 4:41 where we are. It's 5:41 where we came from. So, I mean, we could camp at the trailhead potentially. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we get into when we get up here. Let's get a little further up here and see if we scope out a camp that looks inviting enough to sleep in. All right, we made it to the trailhead. I don't see anything that says you can't camp here. I know a little further down the road where we stopped for lunch, there's some other kind of buildings and stuff up there. So I may run up there and take a peek and see what's going on there because we have time. And, if this seems like the right place to camp, then maybe we'll camp here. Or maybe we'll see something better up that way. But we've made it at least to the trailhead for what we intend to do tomorrow. And I'm just learning that this thing we're going to hike up tomorrow is a volcano. Cool. 3 to 4 hours for most hikers.
Yeah.
Is what it says. Okay.
5.9 miles.
So 6 miles.
All trail is wrong.
Yeah. We can do it faster than that. I have confidence in us. But hey, at least now, yesterday, we were going to camp out there, which in all honesty probably would have taken us 6 hours to get from there to here and still try to do this. So at least it's time-wise a lot more doable tomorrow. All right, let's go do a little more exploring. Let's head up the road that way, see what's going on with these buildings we saw over here, and see if we see a better camp. The buildings we saw were just the Dellenbaugh administrative site, U.S. government property, no camping signs. So that's not something that is going to help us.
Do you think because it's a volcano, they're studying the volcanic
Don't you think
activity?
they're studying volcanic activity? You think that's what's happening?
No.
Yeah, I mean, if we see it smoking, that's bad, but I don't think that's happening. It's dormant, supposedly. Alright, so what are we gonna do for camp? We have 2 hours until sunset. So do we want to camp right here, or do we want to go camp somewhere else? What do you think, Avis?
I've reviewed on it. I don't see any obvious campsites in the area.
Okay, so no obvious campsites that you're seeing on Onyx. All right.
It would just be a lucky find.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was probably okay there. And we're right there at the trailhead, which will be super convenient.
Yeah.
There's some kind of just like a cattle thing or something out this way.
Yeah, there's some private land. There's a little square of private land there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Probably some rancher land.
Maybe, I guess let's go back and camp at the the trailhead. I mean, I saw nothing that said no camping.
I mean, let's put on our headlamps. Let's do it tonight.
Do a night hike? Yeah. No thanks. I'm good.
I'm
ready for
the energy for that.
I'm ready for some relaxing. After this very stressful day of not completing the trail, that I just not gonna be able to look at myself in the mirror. It's awful.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back in something more reasonable, like the Ursa Minor Jeep. That's it. Done with this camper. It failed me.
Sell it.
Alright, let's go make camp. Avis is getting some dinner ready for me, and you're eating cold steak again?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
all I brought for myself.
It's cold steak. Yeah. Anyway, she's warming me up something. I forgot my sauces I put on there. I usually put on some mustard or something. And we just hot sauce. Forgot all of it.
The
So
list of things we forgot is long.
yeah, I'm surprised I don't even have a mini Tabasco in here or something, but we don't.
Yeah, some of those super teeny tiny bottles.
The real small ones,
Where did
yeah.
you get some?
Anyways, as hungry as I am, I don't think I'm going to care. I'm going to throw some cheese on it. We've got some extra trazine that we had in here, and call it a meal. The sun's gone down. Avis and I got all the food we're gonna eat for the day, and there's nothing really left to do other than go to bed. We're literally just gonna get in bed. We're probably gonna watch some Amazon Prime or something on the iPad for a little bit before we fall asleep. But I wish we were out camping at the epic campsite overlooking the Grand Canyon. I'm sure you're disappointed we didn't make it out there. However, if it makes you feel any better, no matter how disappointed you may be, I'm like 10 to 20 times that disappointed. So, yeah, just sucks. But we will make it out again. We will make it out to that campsite. We're just going to have to bring a different rig. So, but I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. We will see you on the next video. For us, we're going to get up tomorrow morning, and we're going to hike this volcano back here behind us and see what that's all about. But for you, you'll see that in next week's video. So appreciate you following along, and I'll see you in a week.